Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back in the Madden 22 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Miami Dolphins. And for those of you guys reading my coach name, I can already hear the Dolphins fans in my comments. I understand that Tua has done good this year. I am aware, I am fully aware Tua has excelled significantly from last year. But for those of you guys saying, I hear so many Dolphins fans call him a top 10 QB. He's not. I would say he's top 12. He is like in the 11th or 12th place. Some people could say he's further down at top 15. Tua is easily probably top 15, but he is not top 10. He is not top 10. I can guarantee you that. You can look at his stats from this year, all that. Everyone's saying, oh, he just needs better weapons and he'll be good. Literally every QB can make that excuse. Any QB, if any QB says, oh, I need better weapons to be good, it's like, yeah, every QB is in the exact same boat. Every QB needs better weapons to be a better QB. But Tua, since the draft day, I think has been overhyped. Again, overhyped does not mean bad. I can just hear all the raging Dolphins fans in my comments. Anyways, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just saying my point towards Tua is he's always been overhyped since the draft, in my personal opinion. I thought Joe Burrow was going to be the best QB in the class, and then Herbert, and I thought Tua was going to be a total bust. Tua has not been a bust. Tua has been solid for them, but I do not think he has performed at a top 5 pick. That is just my personal opinion on Tua. I'm going to be keeping him throughout this rebuild. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be trading him away. They tried trading him away for Deshaun Watson. I guess he got pissed off at that because he started excelling a lot better in the NFL once after that happened. But yeah. So I'm not going to be trading away Tua, even though the Dolphins have tried multiple times in real life, so it wouldn't be unrealistic to trade away Tua. But I will be trying to keep him throughout this rebuild. Tua, I know I talked about him this entire time. He has Jalen Waddle now. Jalen Waddle is a very, very good player. He was a very good pick for them. Yes, Jamar Chase is probably, yeah, most definitely the best receiver in the class. But yeah, that was a pretty good pick by the Dolphins to get Jalen Waddle there. Devontae Smith has been pretty good. Some people are debating that Devontae Smith is better than Jalen Waddle, and I can see that. But Jalen Waddle's a slot player. You got to keep that in mind. And he has competition with Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki. While the Eagles have Jalen Hurts at quarterback, and Devontae Smith really has little to no competition. So they're mainly going to be throwing Devontae Smith's way. I personally think Jalen Waddle was a better pick than Devontae Smith. So Dolphins fans, you can delete the paragraph that you have typed in the comments about how Tua is so much better than Justin Herbert, because I'm sure a lot of you typed that. Tua is not top 10. He's overrated. Overrated does not mean bad. He's still a solid quarterback. I will be using him throughout the entirety of this rebuild. So let's look into the team. So this is the overlook of the team, and Tua should not be a 74 overall with StarDev. I believe he should be a higher overall. I would say 77 would be fair for him. Actually, no. Actually, I would not say. I would say an 82 is better for him, because something that pisses me off each and every single time I do a rebuild is the fact that they made Colin Kaepernick a higher overall than Justin Herbert and Tua. Why is he a higher overall? I'm only signing him so that way I can dump him and edit his stats, because he will never, ever return to the NFL. This dude is probably my most hated player of all time. He constantly makes inputs on the NFL even though he doesn't even play anymore. He shouldn't have any input or any say in anything anymore. Let's change him to a punter, and then we're going to completely go to special teams here, Colin Kaepernick, and we are going to cut him immediately. He's a punter. Nobody's going to sign a 43 overall punter. His career is officially over from where it started. Now that's out of the way. Looking into running backs wise, Gaskin is he's all right. That's what I'll give him. And for those guys saying, oh, Gaskin's an above average running back, it's really not that hard to play the running back position. It is the most simplistic position other than probably punter. And yeah, that's kind of about it. For those guys saying running back's really hard, anyone, and I mean anyone on that field can play running back. Again, I sound super negative throughout this rebuild. That's not how I want to come off. But I'm just saying, Myles Gaskin, he's not as good as people say he is, in my personal opinion. But he should be, 75 is a fair rating. I think Tua should be a 77 overall. And then Devontae Parker, he's actually very good. Something I'll give to the Dolphins, Devontae Parker is extremely underrated. Will Fuller is a little bit injured here and there, but he is still pretty good. Jalen Waddle, though, I think I am going to have Jalen Waddle starting, because whether you like it or not, in Madden, players do start to regress at the age of 28, other than quarterbacks and offensive linemen. So Devontae Parker is going to be slowly regressing. Jalen Waddle I'm going to have in the slot and the starting receiver. It gives him more receptions. It's not really a glitch. It's just like a targeting thing. And Austin Jackson and this guy, Simon Kindley. I'm actually going to have this guy play center just because he has star dev, +1 speed. That's cool. So yeah, I am going to move this guy to center just because he has star dev. That is the sole and only reason. I don't want to waste him being on the bench as a second string. So this offensive line has potential, but right now it is not good, especially the offensive tackles with Greg Little, I think this is. Yeah, Greg Little. Mike Gesicki is very, very good in my personal opinion. I want to move to a 4-3 here. I know you guys do have something else in mind for that, but this is my team now because I'm on the rebuild. Looking into it defensively, Christian Wilkins, I think, yeah, I'm going to slide him back into defensive tackle. I don't think, yeah, was he ever a defensive end for the Dolphins? I think it was mainly a defensive tackle, and then he moved to defensive end. And then I'm going to switch Jalen Phillips, who has been great this year, by the way. Jalen Phillips, I don't think enough people talk about him. And I think Jalen Phillips should move down to right end here and get out of this 3-4 formation because 4-3s just work better in Madden. That's just how it is. I think Jalen Phillips wearing number 15 is kind of weird looking in the NFL, but it's fine. Is this Roquan Davis? Yeah, Raekwon. Is that Raekwon? Yeah, Raekwon Davis. 72 overall. Didn't even know he had star dev. That's cool. Emmanuel Ogbah is pretty good. Byron Jones should have superstar dev. Needham, Justin Coleman, Mbukwe, I think is how you pronounce it. Yeah, Noah. That's what I'm going to call him. 5'10", 197. I'm looking for a strong safety. Justin Coleman is 28 because I do need one. Eric Rowe is not bad, but I don't think he's going to get the job done. 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot, almost 200 pounds. I think this will be a good strong safety. I'm going to be moving this guy back. Nick Needham. Yeah, I'm moving him back to strong safety just because he has star dev. Eric Rowe isn't the worst player. He's just not going to be enough for the long-term future. Yeah, 28 years old. He's going to be off the team the next year. Jerome Baker should have star dev. I think he's a pretty solid guy. Javon Holland shredded the Ravens. As a Ravens fan, it upsets me to say, but Javon Holland is very good. Andrew Van Ginkel. Not trying to make fun of his last name, but I am going to. Van Ginkel just sounds super weird. Jalen Phillips, let's try and generate this best offense. Jalen Phillips is out here. Van Ginkel. Jason McCourty, I forgot he was there. Let's start Baker and then Parks as a second string. Justin Coleman and Howard is going to play there. Gaskin, I'm going to start. And then offensively, go back here. Go to Jalen Waddle, start him. And yeah, start him. Then let's put Gaskin here. And I like what I'm rocking with. I like this team so far. Very young players, a lot of youth. They could be pretty good in the long term. Let's move to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 6-1 top of the division. Tua seems to be doing amazing. Coming off a win at 25-21 against the Atlanta Falcons. We have the draft class here. We're going to keep the auto-generated rookies. Looks like top prospect is Mike Mahone, a QB out of Wisconsin. QB out of Washington is Kerry Mills. Then Todd Dixon out of Stanford. Top 3 are QBs. It's kind of like a usual thing almost every year, except this year. The QB class going into this year, in my opinion, absolute sucks. So Hutchinson from Michigan is probably going to go off the board in real life is what I'm talking about. And then Thibodeau will probably go number 1 or Hutchinson, one of the two. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here for these players. We got Mike Gesicki, of course. I'm going to need him back. Up the money on this. And he resigns. Emmanuel Ogbah. This is the thing. You start regression at the end of the season. So you will probably at most make it to an 86 overall, then that will be the end of it. So depending on how you play this year is determining whether I resign you or not. Exact same thing goes for Will Fuller. Justin Coleman, same thing. Philip Lindsay, no. Nick Needham, 74 overall, strong safety, super cheap deal. Hell yeah, I'll do that. And he wants more salary. I will give it to him. It was a cheap deal anyways. Will Parks, I don't think so. Everyone else here is just a no. So apart from that, guys, let's see if our 6-1 Dolphins can make the playoffs. Okay, so here we are in the playoffs, finishing 10-7 top of the division, here to face the 10-7 Houston Texans. That is cool. What seed did we get? Because we have a home seed. We have the 4 seed. Okay, I'm cool with that. So out of all 4 divisions, we had probably the worst division then, since we were at 10-7 and have the 4 seed. But that's fine. Stats and awards. At least we made the playoffs in our first year. Tua did great. Great. He probably won't even be the MVP. Oh, he's third for MVP? I've literally had QBs get most passing yards and second most passing touchdowns, and they won't even place top 10 for MVP. Okay, so I guess he is a top 10 quarterback now in Madden. In real life, I still don't think that'll happen. 17th best offense, 15th best defense, middle of the road kind of team. 4,500 yards, 38 TDs, 8 interceptions, great year. Gaskin, 3.4 average is what I want to look at. Not good. Jalen Waddle was amazing rookie year, 1,200 yards, 9 TDs. Gesicki, 9 TDs, 1,000 yards. Parker did pretty solid. Fuller did pretty solid as well. Great ball distribution. Defensively, Jerome Baker, 122 tackles. That's great. Tackles for a loss. 20 for Emmanuel Ogbah and 10 sacks for Emmanuel Ogbah. He's getting a re-sign. Interceptions, 3 for Will Parks, 3 for Byron Jones. Cool. Will Parks, I'm still not going to re-sign because he's going to be 28 by the end of this year. 0 safeties. Defensive touchdowns is 1 for Noah something. I don't know how to pronounce it. If you can tell me how to pronounce it in the comments, that'd be sick. Anyways, let's see if we can beat the Houston Texans in the first round. Will we be a first round exit against the 5th seed Texans? And we will. 27-7. We kind of get blown out there. Let's move into the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Cowboys beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins league MVP, and there are no Rookie of the Year award for Jalen Waddle, unfortunately. Yeah, I really wanted him to win it. Jalen Waddle should have Superstar Dev, I believe, after that kind of a year. Yeah, he does get Superstar Dev, thank you. Wait, did he come with that? Or did he... Oh, they gave him Superstar Dev. Yeah, he didn't receive it, Superstar Dev. EA just started him with Superstar Dev. That's surprising. So he has that. That's cool. Devontae Parker is regressing, as I said before, which is, yeah, major regression from Devontae Parker. Will Fuller has not progressed nicely. Offensive line is progressing nicely, actually. And offensively, of course, Tua Tagovailoa has Superstar Dev here. That is great to see. Gaskin, same, because he had kind of a terrible year. Jerome Baker somehow doesn't get Star Dev. I need him starting. And that banging in the background, I'm sorry about that. That's just my dad. He's doing something. And then why is Roquan Davis not starting over the 66 overall? I don't know why. Well, Raekwon Davis. Anyways, guys, apart from that, we are going to be getting into the re-sign players here. And yeah, let's see what we are going to have for the re-sign. I believe we're going to have Will Fuller. Yeah, we should have Will Fuller and someone else if this will ever load at any point in year. Thank you, EA, for finally loading it. 2021 retirements. Let's see what we got here for the AFC East. Yeah, AFC East, no. Jerry Hughes retires. That's cool. No Dolphins players. Players ready to negotiate here. What are we going to have? Emmanuel Ogbah did have a great season, and he wants even more money now, which isn't good. But he resigns with the organization. Will Fuller, no. Justin Coleman, no. Nick, you need him. I believe he wanted more salary, so I am going to give that to him. And he stays with the team. Good stuff. I'm not going to resign Will Parks. Anyone else here that I have interest in? No, I do not. Let's move into free agency. So here we are after free agency as we got Von Miller. I understand we just got Jalen Phillips and Emmanuel Ogbah. Still, he's a freaking simulation, and I just needed to go after him. AJ Cole as a punter, got him on a cheap deal. Jacoby Myers to replace Will Fuller. I really like a pickup, very young, nice player. Devontae Adams is somehow still in free agency. Nobody picked up Casey Hayward, Younghoe Koo. Makes absolutely no sense. I'm sure someone will pick him up after the draft anyways. So let's get to it. And our first round pick is going to be Devin TYSON. Only 86 strength, but he does have hidden dev, which is actually absolutely huge. We picked him at pick number 8. Pretty good right tackle just because of the hidden development. 86 strength is not that high of an overall, but still is going to be a pretty good left tackle, right tackle for the future. So this is what the team looks like going into the next season. We have TYSON at right tackle, 71 overall with the morale. So technically he's a 69 overall without morale, but I guess he was our first round pick, so that's fine with me. Has hidden dev. Greg Little is going to be our left tackle. Teeth look super freaking weird, dude, by the way. Receivers look pretty good. I like what we have. Specialist, Jacoby Myers, I'm cool with him there. Baker, Needham, Van Ginkel. We got, something just fell outside of my room. I don't know what that was. Whatever. Von Miller, Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogbah, Van Ginkel, and Jalen Phillips. I don't like how Jalen Phillips is the backup, but it's fine. It's completely fine. Defensively, this is what we look like. I like what we got. Javon Holland is pretty good. And yeah, apart from that, guys, it is time to move into the midseason mark. And here we are at the midseason mark, guys. We are now 1-6. Went from 6-1 to 1-6. I literally didn't change any playbooks. I don't know how. I guess we had a cupcake schedule last year. Christian Wilkins, I do want back, former first-round pick, of course, and I am going to re-sign him as our defensive tackle. Gaskin, no. Ginkle, no, because he's not going to get it to an 85 overall. He starts regression in this next upcoming year. Just don't need him. Everyone else here is just a no. So apart from that, guys, it is time to move into the playoffs. And here we are not making the playoffs, getting shut out by the Bears as we finished 3-14. That makes absolutely zero sense. Tua was probably garbage. He was terrible. Tua was terrible. I know 11th in passing yards, but 29th in touchdowns is not acceptable. Second worst offense, 17th best defense. 4,100 yards, 22 Ds, 24 interceptions. Tua is terrible. Tua is terrible. My God. What a god-awful season. Gaskin, again, not a good season. 3.4 per carry is not good. Jacoby Myers was great. 1,300 yards, 11 TDs. Waddle had a major down year from last year. Only one touchdown. Really? Defensively, Nick Needham with 136 tackles. Baker with 135 tackles for a loss. 23 for Emmanuel Ogbah. 22 for Christian Wilkins. And only 17 for Von Miller. Sacks, 14 for Von Miller. That's why I picked him up. Ogbah with 8. Wilkins with 4, Phillips with 3, interceptions, 3 for Jerome Baker, 3 for Howard, 3 for Javon Holland, 2 for Van Ginkel. Safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Nick Needham, who's been playing really, really good. Glad I moved him back to strong safety, but Tua sucks. Let's move to the offseason. And the Jaguars beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Miles Jack wins Super Bowl MVP. Urban Meyer wins Coach of the Year, even though he got fired from the Jags. Von Miller wins Defensive Player of the Year. That's surprising. That's really surprising, but I am glad I picked him up. Let's look into the team to see if there is any development upgrades. Baker and Needham should get upgrades offensively. We look at the exact same. Actually, no, Jacob Myers got up. This is the problem with Devontae Parker. He's now a 79 overall with morale, so technically an 81 overall. He's still going through regression. I'm not going to cut him, though. Gaskin, I'm not going to re-sign or anything like that. Yeah, just yikes. Offensively, Baker did get it. Needham should have a superstar. I really do believe he should have that. Byron Jones is now an 82 overall. Damn, regression hit this dude like a truck. Minus 16. My gosh. Gonna have to draft his replacement soon. That is a yikes. Ogbah hit regression as well. That's unfortunate. So I guess everyone just hit regression and screwed us. Let's move to the re-sign players. God, Tua was terrible, had one good season. Same with Jalen Waddle. Both just did terrible. Fell off after one season. I can't even name the title. Tua is terrible because I'm sure Dolphins fans would get mad. So let's look into the AFC East. No Dolphins have retired here. Let's look into the players ready to negotiate. And no Myles Gaskin, no Andrew Van Ginkel. Everyone else here is a no. So other than that, guys, it is time to move into free agency. Here we are in the free agency recap. I got Quentin Nelson, moved him to left tackle. Very, very good player on kind of a cheap deal for a left tackle. Stephon Gilmore, Tony Pollard, Casey Hayward, Tua. I got you the best offensive line in the NFL. I got you a great defense and a running back to take stress off your shoulders. Please, for the love of God, perform. I know you did it year one. I'm going to need you to not throw 24 interceptions in a season. Tua turned the ball over. I know Dolphins fans are raging in the comments right now. I'm sure they already disliked the video. I could care less. Well, anyways, let's get to the draft. Okay, so I have the #1 overall pick in the draft. And instead of drafting a QB so that way I can keep Dolphins fans happy in my comments, I'm picking up another threat for him. I'm getting Justin Jefferson, arguably a top 3 receiver this year. I am trading away my #1 overall pick, my pick 31, and my pick 65 for Justin Jefferson and pick 17 this year from the Vikings. So we still get a first-round pick, and I'm picking up Justin Jefferson. I'm giving Tua another shot. Hopefully he can make it happen this year. If he doesn't make it happen 2 years in a row, I think I'll trade him. But this is his time to shine. I need him to perform. It's required. And with our first-round pick, we're picking up Kari Wagner, hidden development, 83 overall out of LSU. I like this pick. He's going to replace Andrew Van Ginkel, and the team is now completely filled out. So here we are after the draft, as we have Dan Cage, who's only a 66 overall. Yikes! If Tua does not perform this year, I might start Dan Cage, depending on how bad Tua does not perform. Just if he's decent, I'll keep him. Justin Jefferson, Jacoby Myers, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki in an above-average offensive line with the best offensive lineman in the NFL. You better perform. Like, I don't know how you can't say, oh, he doesn't have weapons. I've given you weapons. Perform, okay? Defensively, looking into it, I gave you a defense. Kari Wagner looks pretty good. Jalen Phillips, Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Wilkins, Von Miller, Stephon Gilmore, Casey Hayward, Xavier Howard, Byron Jones. Like, I don't know what else you possibly want from me. Like, this is what I have you, and you better perform. You better put up numbers. Kari Wagner, second string there, which I'm fine with. Richards, I'll put up here. Like, dude, I need you to just more than perform. I need you to ball out, Tua, or else Dan Cage is going to be on your ass. Anyways, let's move to the midseason mark. And looks like Tua is performing. 5-1, top of the division. Jets are 5-2, right behind us, coming off a win to the Washington football team. We're here to face the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys. We need this win so that way the Jets do not take the division over us. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. Justin Jefferson, of course, we need him back. Is Tua playing well? I will see that in the stats, or is it Justin Jefferson or someone in particular? Robert Hunt is someone I need back as well. Let's up this money, and he resigns. Noah, this is a really cheap deal, so I will up this and give it to you. Center, is this? Yeah, this is actually a really cheap deal for you. Holy crap, yeah, I will definitely take that for an offensive lineman. He resigns. Austin Jackson, this should be even cheaper. Yeah, I'm definitely taking this as well. These are just such cheap deals. I have to keep these players. Raekwon Davis, definitely want him back as well. Super cheap deal. Pump that money up a little bit. And he resigns. Everyone else here is just a no. And Tua, let's see how good you're doing so far, and I'll give you a contract right now. If you're top 10 in touchdowns, I will give you one. Second for touchdowns, 7th for passing yards. 25th best offense, though. That makes no sense. Hopefully we can turn that around for offensive yards. And let's sign Tua, because I just said if he was top 10 in that, I would. Let's boost the money for him so that way he makes sure, I guess I don't have the cap room for it. Will he take that? Offer needs some work. We'll tag him at the end of the year. I know you guys are like, oh, you just signed a bunch of players and not Tua. It's like, I did what I can. He needs his offensive line to obviously perform, or else he crumbles. So let's move to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs as the Jets, as we're coming off a loss to the Jets, as they finished 9-8, second in the division. We finished 12-5, top of the division. Did the Jets make it? No, the Jets did not make the playoffs. That's cool for us. The Bengals are 11-5, and we're here to face them in the wild card. Let's see our stats for the year. Tua, 5th in passing yards, 7th in passing touchdowns. Thank you for coming back. 17th best offense, 20th best defense. Makes no sense. 4,600 yards, 35 TDs, 9 interceptions. Tony Pollard, not good, 3.3 average. Jacob Myers, almost 1,400 yards, 9 TDs. Great on this team. Justin Jefferson, 7 TDs, almost 1,000 yards. Expected a lot better from him. Gesicki, almost 1,000 yards, 12 TDs. Great season for him. Defensively, Jerome Baker, 134 tackles for a loss. 21 for Von Miller, 21 for Christian Wilkins. Sacks, 17.5 for Von Miller. That's why I picked him up. Emmanuel Ogbah with 14.5 sacks. Jalen Phillips, I've been a second string, but I doubt he'll put up 17.5 sacks like Von Miller. Interceptions, 4 for Noah. That's cool. He's been putting up a lot of stats for us. 1 safety for Jalen Phillips. Safety and defensive touchdowns is Nick. Again, Needham is pretty good, dude. Or Nedham, whatever you want to pronounce it as. Let's see if we can beat the Cincinnati Bengals to move on to the divisional. I don't play the divisional round or the wild card round. We beat them 28-17. Now let's see if we can beat the simulation gods while we're at their home. 12-5 versus 12-5. We lost 38-28. Unfortunate. Let's move to the offseason as we get into the 4th and final season. Here we are with the season recap as the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl 24-21, and there are no Dolphins for the yearly awards. Melvin Ingram wins the Super Bowl MVP. Looking into the roster for the Miami Dolphins here. Does Tua get an upgrade? No, he stays at a superstar. I'm fine with that. I'm surprised Mike Gesicki doesn't have a superstar yet. But everyone else, all of his receivers have superstar. And it looks like Devontae Parker did retire because he's not here anymore. And I also didn't have the option to resign. Wagner has star dev. And there is no defensive upgrades. I'm surprised Emmanuel Ogbah did not get X Factor. And how does Nick not even have... I kind of want to give him superstar, but I know people would get mad at it. So not going to do that. And it looks like Byron Jones did retire as well, which is unfortunate for us. But it's fine. Let's move into the re-signed players. I'm sure it'll show us the retirements for Devontae Parker and Byron Jones, because I didn't cut them from the team unless the CPU cut them, because it likes to just cut old players for absolutely no reason without my actual saying of doing that. So let's see if they did cut them or if they did retire. My offensive coordinator retires, but for some, yeah, it looks like the CPU cut Byron Jones at the beginning of the season, which is so irritating. And I think they cut Casey Hayward too, which just the world's most irritating thing whenever the CPU does that. Anyways, guys, let's look into the players ready to negotiate. Tua is going to be here. Can I tactically maneuver my way around this? Oh, wait. I think I can actually give him a contract here. Let's up the money by like a lot. Yeah, I can actually give him a contract, so let's try and do that. He wants to play for a new team. Anyone here that I want to resign? Anyone? Nope, I don't want to resign anyone. You're not playing for a new team, Tua. You're coming back. Okay. He had a good season for us. Of course, I'm going to keep him back. Dan Cage is not going to be the future, so I'm probably going to trade him away. Let's move into free agency. Actually, we can't because we have negative $23 million because of that franchise tag. So, my bad. I'm going to be moving into the draft now. Terrence Preston is going to be our first-round pick. Normal dev, not very that special, but it's whatever. So, this is the overlook of the team going into the fourth and final season. Tua, please perform. Cage is only star dev, that's whatever to me because Tua is the future. He only had one bad season, but he was on the hot seat after throwing 24 interceptions, having more interceptions than he did have touchdowns. Preston, only 74 overall, that's fine with me, and everyone else here is cool. This defense should not be 20th best. It should definitely be a top 5. Anyways, let's move into, not the midseason mark, the playoffs, because it is the fourth and final season. And in the fourth and final year, Tua fumbles the bag with an 89 overall team and a 93 overall offense. No, the defense fumbles the bag, not Tua. I don't know how this team goes 9-8. It just doesn't make sense how our team goes 9-8 here. Jets make the playoffs with the 4th seed. So stupid. Let's look at the stats and awards in the fourth and final season. Tua was great. I cannot give Tua shit for any of this except for season 2. Didn't even place top 10 in MVP. Like, how? Like, he was 5th most in passing yards and like 7th most in passing touchdowns his first season in this rebuild, and he got top 3 for MVP, and now it's just not even top 10. 4,800 yards, 37 TDs, 16 receptions is still too many. Tony Pollard, 4.1 average, pretty solid this season, 8 TDs, 1,000 yards. Jacoby Myers, 1,400 yards, 10 TDs, the best pickup we've had the entire time. JJ, 10 TDs, 1,000 yards. Jalen Waddle, he really fell off after season 1. Gesicki has been consistent throughout this rebuild, pretty good. Defensively, Jerome Baker, 141 tackles for a loss, 15 for Christian Wilkins, sacks, 10 for Emmanuel Ogbah, only 9.5 for Von Miller, 4 interceptions for Nick Needham, who's honestly been the GOAT throughout this thing. Xavier Howard, 4 interceptions, safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 0. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I can't really do anything about that. It's just irritating to try and rebuild a team and just go 9-8. Like, Tua was only a problem in the second season. I know I talked trash about him the entire time, but he was pretty good overall throughout this rebuild, so good for him. Good for the Dolphins. Oh, it's the Panthers and Broncos rematch in the Super Bowl. I want to see who wins this. I want to see also if Tua gets X Factor. And it looks like the Broncos win it again against the Panthers in the Super Bowl, 24-21. Let's see if Tua gets X Factor. And he does. Tua finishes with X Factor. Jacoby Myers gets X Factors as well. Good for you guys and Dolphins fans. Hopefully in 4 years, Tua is an X Factor in real life. And defensively, looks like nobody got an upgrade. Nick Needham should have been superstar X Factor by the end of this. Dude was a freak throughout this entire team, throughout this entire rebuild. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Unfortunate outcome, unsuccessful rebuild. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I'll see you guys all in the next one.